Scholesy.
What?
You were in a good mood this morning, you said.
Oh, I was in such a good mood before I came here.
What, Gary?
Sorry, Gary.
then
What
it just-
happened?
Logistics.
Okay. Logistics can get...
You like flow, don't
Just
you?
relax.
The flow's got a bit-
Yeah, you're stressing yourself out. Don't sweat the small stuff. There's custard in this, I'm taking a gamble.
So Scholesy, you've been... Do you know, like, I asked Scholesy last year, I reckon... How many times do you reckon I asked you to do this programme?
No, that.
Yeah, I did.
You go through your people, don't you?
Nice one, Scholes.
You might have asked me once.
I texted you 4 or 5 times and said, will you do it? And you said no.
Why not, Scholesy?
You don't like you.
I don't really like speaking.
That's good for a podcast. Isn't it?
I don't know, just don't know.
I saw you speaking the other day on the family, but it sounded pretty good to me, Scholesy.
Thank you, Ian.
Once you get going, you just...
Yeah, I don't know, guys, sorry. Have I offended you?
I'm just happy you're here now. No, you're not offended.
Right, this is amazing. I'm not even...
I don't get offended.
Just taste a bit of corn.
Imagine if we
I'm
got
not
offended.
Even joking, bro. It's
You
gonna
couldn't
be
get
better
offended,
than
could
that.
you?
No, you can't.
If you take a piece of...
What, in the world of
Not
being a
joking.
pundit, you
In
mean?
the world of being a
amazing.
football
No,
player or a
no.
pundit, you can't get offended.
I'm going to pretend I'm enjoying it.
It's a problem
Right,
if it
John.
is.
Do you think you offend people?
Was there anybody late today?
That's a different story. What offends you?
What
Late
offends
now?
me?
Yeah, when was the last time you were offended?
About 10 minutes ago when somebody came in late.
Who was it?
Tony Adams was right.
Come back all the time. No, we had some terrible rain on the motorway. We had to slow down. 2 years ago, I nearly died in the same kind of weather. I'm petrified when it
You
starts
didn't nearly
raining.
die. I hate when people
Well, in the match-
exaggerate as well. That's another-
So we're driving, me and the fella. He's
Right.
hit the brakes.
That's right.
Jamie, he's hit the brakes. He must be doing 60 something. And the car's aquaplane is hit the centre of the reservation and it's spun round and it's facing that way with cars coming this way. That's enough to frighten you.
You in the car as well?
Were you in the
No,
car?
he wasn't in the car. I was in the car. Of course I was in the car.
You've got airbags though, isn't it?
Jesus, man.
He didn't have airbags in the back.
Oh, in the back. Oh, yeah. You're in the back
No,
watching
but
a movie.
it's not funny,
Godfather
it's
for
not
the 50th
funny.
time.
It's not funny because like
but-
now when
but
it's raining,
described it.
and you know when you just constantly braking, it makes me quite nervous. So I
you
told her
told
to
them
slow,
to slow
yeah,
down
told her to
today?
slow right down, yeah. You know,
Get the train.
Yeah, why don't you get the train?
well, trains annoying.
You worry about the train crashing.
No airbags. No airbags on the train.
Fly up.
Is this going to make the
Helicopter.
Yeah.
The helicopter train?
Have you been on a helicopter? Do you like helicopters?
No, I'm not a fan of them.
No.
I've been on one, but I'm not.
Oh, I'm sure you've been on one, Gary, to the races.
Skiing.
Yeah, skiing, Haydock, wherever you go.
Oh, actually, skiing. It was actually.
Courchevel.
Skiing. You've been on one then?
I've been on one, but I didn't. I done the 2-hour journey. Don't like that thing of you come in, everyone's looking at you. Want that, do you?
What?
You come in a course, you
Oh,
have
yeah.
everyone looking at you.
What is it like?
Glastonbury? You must
It's like
have
a-
been for
it's like a-
Glastonbury. No?
No.
It's like an open air, like red carpet. You come in and everybody...
No.
Yeah, it's like a big. Who's coming? What famous person coming in? Then
It's not.
Gary Neville gets out.
It's illegal that Trent Alexander-Arnold's not playing for England. It's illegal. Honestly.
Someone should get locked up.
With what he...
He's got a swagger, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You see when he's going to take the corner,
Yeah,
like,
last night he was walking
Yeah.
over the corner. He was John Wayne walking up. He was like, get out with here. Like,
You said last year, I think, I'm sick of full-backs appearing in midfield. What...
I just couldn't imagine you next to me. You need somebody with a bit of stature.
with what he's doing, I'd give it to him.
Well, we're talking about giving the England manager's job to not a manager.
Honestly, I was stunned.
but you always are
Knowledge.
when someone.
Oh,
You said it about. I know you said it
About
about
every
Andy Gordon.
interview, yeah. You know what word he uses? Mesmerised. He always uses I was mesmerised.
You were at Wembley last night.
Cheers.
Is that enough?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
What do you... It's a bit strange for me, this period. The games are a bit strange, the competition's a bit strange, but also the fact that Lee Carsley's got this sort of 6-game period. What do you make of it?
The game itself.
Well, the game, the
It was
situation.
comfortable for England the last couple of games.
Yeah.
Obviously, the group, they're going to win the group, you would have thought. So it's all a bit easy and a bit predictable, the football side of it. But Lee Carsley, obviously, he's
Yeah.
got to try and put a marker down. I think no matter who the manager was, the last couple of games, England would have won. Everyone's trying to look for something. Is he doing something a bit different?
Yeah.
He's obviously
Is he doing anything different?
No, I just...
But he's given lads.
They seem a bit, I don't want to say freer and all that, but like, they do seem to be going forward with a little bit more, devil may care, bam through lines, Gordon coming in, Trent,
It's always that awkward, right? A new manager comes in, people say it looks a bit,
it does.
It looks a bit different, but I don't think it looks that much different. Put it that way.
It's like because we've had Gareth, 8 years, and then especially towards you're just seeing the same kind of thing, not picking certain players. People were talking about Trent coming in first time he's played at right back in 4 years or something, and him not even being able to get in the squad, and then he got into the squad, and all of a sudden Trent's playing and he's playing in midfield. He was used poorly in a lot of people's minds, what I was seeing. So the way that he's come in, Anthony Gordon's come in, he's brought in obviously Angel Gomez, and it's just he's brought in different people, and Jack looking like a little bit like what we know he can do.
Trent was excellent, wasn't he?
I thought he was.
I know people say I know
he was.
The first thing I look at is the opposition. You go, it's
Thank you,
easy,
brother.
but sometimes when you have time, and I think it was Bill Shankly said it years ago. That's why you judge a player. He's got time and space.
Yeah.
And the decision making is passing.
Well, the best players always look like they've got time and space.
Honestly.
I mean, he's
It's
playing.
to do that at the
Sorry.
right back, don't you think? Sorry, Karen.
Yeah.
No,
No.
go on, Paul.
No, isn't it, Gaz? I
what?
think you have more time on the ball, don't you?
100%.
Oh, right back.
Yeah. That's why I don't think you can be a central midfield player.
No, you're right. I mean, I made that journey from obviously nowhere near as good as Trent on the ball, but went from sort of midfield to right back, and I'd never played right back before in my life. Played there the first time at Liverpool, so you're thinking right back. You're thinking, oh, but but you do. You're thinking, oh, but. You get loads of the ball, you do. Yeah. So when you think of someone like Trent, and you're right, Scholes, it's about getting on the ball, but the way I'm watching Trent, even for Liverpool and England, and this has happened before, it's almost too easy for him. When you're seeing him pass, it's like he's training. When you're in training and you'll go for that, well, you'll know better
That's
than
his
me.
demeanour, though, isn't it, James?
Yeah, he's so free. He's
got-
so
do you know
like
what?
his
Do you know
passing
he's got
ability.
swagger, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You see when he's going to get the corner, he's
Yeah,
like that,
last night he was walking
Yeah.
over the corner. He was like fucking John Wayne walking.
Yeah.
He was like, get out with it.
But he has, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I think we spoke on here last season. At the start of last season, we were talking about who was player of the year, I think after like 6 weeks or something, and we were mentioning Trent. And I felt even at the start of last season, being vice-captain, you just feel it, don't you? The presence on the pitch, the shoulders are back, and it's like, I'm the man. And he's got to do that for England. Obviously, it looked like he did last night.
Did he? Well, you interviewed him before the game. Did he? Was he? He's a confident lad, obviously, is he?
Yeah.
I interviewed him for 2 or 3 hours last season, and he was.
That must have tested it.
Roy, honestly, I was stunned.
But you always are
knowledge.
when someone.
Oh,
You said it
knowledge.
about. I know you said it about Andy Gordon.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Basically, Andy Stokes, who
Yeah.
speaks properly, Gareth's like, I was stunned. You should have said,
No,
I'm not used to it.
You know what word he uses? Mesmerised. He always uses I was mesmerised.
Anyone who can speak. Honestly, no, I was mesmerised by. I was mesmerised by the fact that you have a sort of. You look at someone, you think he's a brilliant player, but then you look at him. I've been critical of him defensively. You've been critical of him.
Yeah.
You've said he shouldn't play midfield. You've said he shouldn't play midfield. I could not believe how much he knew about football historically in the last 20, 25 years, and how many games he watched, and how much into it he was. And then maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but I couldn't believe it. He was like asking loads of questions. He was dead inquisitive, and that's what I think I was like. Sort of. He didn't want to stop talking about
He's a lover of the
football,
game, yeah.
about right back and stuff. So
So you'd never think that about him, would you? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't, honestly, I couldn't
No.
believe it, Scholesy.
Yeah.
But why? But aren't we wrong with that? Because we've got a perception about maybe the way someone plays. Can you be a bit lackadaisical? So you automatically think, oh, is he that interested in football? Is he that committed or something? Why do we think that if we don't know him?
I said during the summer, it was something that hit me during the summer about the misuse of England players, maybe relating to you at
He
times.
said it was illegal for him not to.
I said it's illegal that Trent Alexander-Arnold is not playing for England. It's illegal. Honestly.
Someone should get locked up.
With what he...
That's what he's inadvertently.
I didn't
That's
say
what he's
criminal.
saying.
I said illegal.
Illegal.
So my point is that the thing is, if we have a player that can do what he can do, right, and we can't get him into our team, we've got a massive problem. It's a massive problem. And I don't know where you stand on that, but I said it was illegal that he wasn't playing.
That depends on the manager, doesn't it?
Yes.
No, it does. But what I'm saying, did you agree with? I mean, you were deemed to have been misused for England. Do you have some sort of thinking that that's the same with Trent? That he hasn't played right back for 4 years for England. Is that right?
Well, that's because of his defensive frailties, isn't it? Which you've just mentioned. It's obvious that his quality on the ball is fucking. It's unreal. It's brilliant, isn't it? But if you've got the manager, say Pep was manager of England, he'd play him every week.
Of course he would. Because
Someone like Gareth, who's a little bit not as attacking or wants to fly forward and be more creative, then he'll be thinking.
I remember when
The
Trent.
defensive thing, though, I've got not just defending him. Like, I think when you look at any player's weakness, you always think, what the benefits does that override that? I think the benefit of him on the ball does override
the defensive stuff.
The defensive stuff. But when we talk about the defensive stuff, when we think of a basic quality of his defender, especially as a fullback, and you think, is he a good defender or not? We always judge it on one thing. It's 1v1 defending, isn't it? Yeah. That's the first thing you go to. So we think of Kyle Walker, lightning quick, you can't really get past him. But how many goals do we concede in the summer in the right back area because Kyle Walker was out of position, or he's playing someone on side because his position is not right? So when we talk about someone defensively, and I'm not saying Trent's amazing at all the other things in terms of, like, tucking in at the back post, positional play, next to your centre-back, do you step into the pocket, do you stay there? There's lots of things around defending than just when I'm 1v1. So when we think of we'll say Kyle Walker's a good defender, but if you look at the whole sort of bit of what you want from a defender, that was well short in the summer in terms of England playing there. So I think this thing about Trent is, 1v1, he can be better, of course he can, but
has
we're talking about a player who's played in 3
you still think he's a good
finals.
defender from crosses? Do you think he's...
No, I'm saying he's not. I'm not saying he's amazing
Right.
at all that.
You're saying it supersedes that all. You're saying it supersedes all
no,
that.
but yes, I think it does. But number two is when we're saying who is the great defender at right back. We've had Kyle Walker for 10 years. He's lightning quick. He gets people out of trouble. You've 12, 11 years. But do you know what I mean? Kyle Walker still lets you down defensively when he switches off his positional play. Sometimes
I think he's got better though, hasn't he?
Kyle
Walker defensively.
Yeah, I mean,
there was a time when he was playing early on, he was out of position all the time.
When you look at
but his pace got him out of trouble.
He's a lot better now defensively.
A lot better now, yeah.
But you look at the summer.
I know you look at the summer,
He's conceded 3 goals in that area.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This show is sponsored by Huel. Back in my playing days at United and England, our meal plans were strict, but getting proper nutrition on the move wasn't always easy, especially when I was rushing home from training or travelling to a match. I wish I'd had something like Huel back then. Huel is a game changer. Take this Black Edition ready to drink. It's formulated by nutritionists to be the ultimate meal on the go. It's perfect if, like me, you're always short on time, but you want something better than unhealthy snacks or fast food. With Huel's Black Edition, you get 35 grams of protein, 26 essential vitamins and minerals, and over 170 health benefits, packed all into one bottle. And the best way to find out how well it works, try Huel's Taster Bundle. You'll get a range of their products like this and decide which one's best for you. My favourite is definitely the vanilla. So if you're an athlete, a professional, or just want a healthier option when you're on the move, give the Taster Bundle a go. Join the millions who love Huel and unlock your offer now at huel.com/theoverlap. That's huel.com/theoverlap.
Trent, in the Euros, for Gareth to bring him in and do it was terrible for him. He didn't have it set up for him.
In midfield?
Yes. He didn't have it set up for him, Gareth, because that's why he changed it another 2 times, didn't he? He went Trent, then he went Connor, then he went Kobe. Right? Trent should have a team, if he's playing, built around what his strengths are. That's a Gordon going long. That's somebody coming in short there. So that's people making runs from midfield into the pass what he made in through to Harry Kane.
I'm going to defend Gareth a little bit.
These last 2 games have suited him down to the ground. The opposition really poor, dropping off, and he's picking people out, and he's really not playing it right back. He's going into midfield, obviously. So the 2 games have been perfect for him.
I think his situation at Liverpool is really interesting. I've been thinking about this the last couple of weeks, in that you've got 3 players, and I don't know if this was the same at United, but I always feel when you're at Liverpool and you're a local player, leaving not that you want to leave the club, but leaving the club is difficult. So you've got 3 players in Van Dijk, Salah and Trent. And I think the reaction of Liverpool supporters, if say the 3 of them went in the summer for free, or say Salah goes, I think most Liverpool fans will go, you're a legend, we got you for 40 million, well, look what you've done, you're amazing, go and enjoy your whatever. I think it'll be the same with Van Dijk, but with Trent it'll be different. Because they won't want to, there's a thing I think...
It's a Gerrard vibe.
Yeah, and if you go through it, it happened to McManaman when he went to Madrid. There was no like, oh, good luck, you're going to the biggest club in the world, good luck. It was a bit like, who do you think you are there? Going there for free. Stevie, when he went to Chelsea, you know, this was a player
He didn't go to Chelsea.
No, but on the build-up to, there was like a 2-month period, 2-year period of he was nearly going to Chelsea. The fans completely turned. Robbie at one stage, when he was at his peak, almost maybe went somewhere else. So I think they
expect loyalty basically out there.
I think he'll be treated differently. And I think it was interesting when he came off the first game and he was a little bit unhappy on the bench. Yeah. And even all the fans, even though Slot's only been there for 2 games, it was like, who do you think you are?
Do you think Slot likes him? Watching that game, the Sunday game, every time he gave the ball away, he's shaking his head, Slot.
Yeah.
Kept looking away, turning around to his bench.
The United game?
Was you down there near the bench?
I was down there, yeah. And every time when he's trying his long balls that he can do brilliantly.
But it was good he took him off again, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he kept.
But it was interesting,
wasn't it?
I think.
Around, and I thought, I'm not sure he likes him.
I think the way Slot wants to play is he doesn't like that sort of long ball as much. Yeah, be interesting. But no, I mean, listen, he'll want him to stay as a player. But I just think it's interesting going forward.
Conor Bradley's a good player as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
You're trying to get rid of him, aren't you?
He's trying to lure you in now. No. Just in the summer, obviously, there's a massive furore around Trent playing in midfield. And you said last year, I think, that I'm sick of full-backs appearing in midfield. What?
I just couldn't imagine you next to me.
Me and Phil.
What do you mean, Phil? Imagine, Roy. No, Phil did it a bit. Phil was playing central midfield and it was all right.
Kicking everyone.
What are you doing here? You know what I mean? If you were there.
Kicking everyone, wouldn't he? Phil.
No, I'm not sure you'd be capable of it. Anyway, would you like these?
Not at all.
You wouldn't like to.
You struggled at right back. No,
but you wouldn't like to.
You know what I felt like? You know what you felt like for me? I felt like if I went into midfield, which you end up there sometimes, don't you, during the game, like the odd time every 5 games or something. And if the ball gets played into you, honestly, you feel like you've got landmines all around you. It feels like something's good. It's horrible.
Well, that's what I thought about Trent. It's all right being right back and being on the ball.
Coming onto
you
the
get
play,
plenty of time. But then all of a sudden, you've got to find a bit of space in midfield, and it's not fucking easy.
No, it's not.
That's what I thought. Trent was so much to play left back because he didn't have the left footer.
Yeah.
I thought he's the one who can get there, and he can play his passes from there. He'll get on the ball all day.
He'll come inside, and the game opens up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And all the chat about Trent is all about when England are in possession. But obviously, in the Euros, it's going to be different to the games they had in the last week.
It's when
you're going to be found out when you're up against the better teams. Yeah. I looked at him. He didn't know when to go, when to sit in. His distances were all wrong.
About midfield, Roy?
Yeah, when he played in midfield.
Okay.
When he played him a couple of games for England, you knew he was going to get found out against just better opposition. Yeah, listen, they weren't amazing, some of the teams in the group, but he was found out in there. And again, there is that perception about someone could play a full-back and who's good in possession going, I'll just throw him in midfield. It's different. You're receiving it. Sometimes when you're back to play, you've got to hit people a bit more. Obviously, you played a full-back, the game's always in front of you. That was always going to be a huge challenge.
I thought you have a great right-back who's good at going forward. People say, put him as a winger. Yeah. It's a completely different position, isn't it?
I thought the timing was strange for him to do it, because he just did it in that first game. He'd never really done it before for England.
I think the timing was...
I'm sure he'd done it a few times for Liverpool, but... Just to start.
Well, if he was that amazing in midfield, I always look at Klopp. Klopp walked with him if he was that amazing in midfield, surely Klopp would say, I've got to get him in there.
Yeah.
But Klopp was. I know people say he drifts in. Drifting in there is different to when you start there and you've got to do a job.
Yeah.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This show is in association with LinkedIn. When I'm launching my businesses in the UK and the USA, finding the right people is crucial. I need a team that understands the vision and can hit the ground running. That's where LinkedIn Jobs comes in. You know, it's not just a jobs board. LinkedIn is where you find professionals you won't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively looking but might be open to the perfect role. In fact, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. And here's the kicker. 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. My team found talented people who are perfect for the job quicker than I ever imagined possible. For small and medium businesses, I know time and resources are tight. LinkedIn makes it easier, even down to helping you write the job description so you can hire professionals like a professional. So if, like me, you're looking to build a great team, post your job for free at linkedin.com/offer. That's linkedin.com/offer to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Why can England not keep the ball in a tournament? Because we asked this question on the very first day that we got to Germany. I think that the reason England get knocked out of tournaments quite often is because just other teams keep the ball better, doesn't they wear us down? That's happened in our generation, and it's happening in the sun with Spain in the final. You obviously were pushed out to the left when you were deemed as being one of the sort of best playmaking midfield players. What would you do with the current England midfield, and how would you get hold of position? Where is the problem? Do you think Gomez is the answer?
Angel Gomez. It's a tough question, guys. I think
Like the way he plays, though, Paul.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah, it was safe, wasn't it? But it's technically good. He ticks the game over, of course he does. Major tournament, it's hard, isn't it?
Yes.
I think this is a team. It is a possession team. I don't think we were so much of a possession team. We had brilliant forward players and wide players at the time. I wasn't really a playmaker then. Do you know what I mean? You talk about being a playmaker. I wasn't then. I was more of a forward, trying to score goals and make goals all the time. So we didn't really have that balance.
I think you were 28 then, 29. You were in that...
29 when I finished, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I think at 2004 you're 29 and you were at that point starting to control games in midfield.
I don't think I was at that point. I think it came around that point when I finished. And I was probably given the time at club level to transition into that more of a sitting player. You don't...
But when you were playing with England, were your managers obsessed with possession back then?
Sven wasn't.
No.
Glenn Hoddle was.
Glenn Hoddle was.
Right.
And I think we played all right under Glenn.
Yeah.
Possession-wise.
You thought Glenn was the right type of football, didn't you?
I enjoyed it with Glenn, yeah.
But you just going back to that in terms of being pushed to the left, and obviously it's something that's been talked about now for many a year.
But sorry, Gary, can I just... But when you're saying push to the left... You're not left winger, are you? You're not talking about someone.
No, and I did it loads of times.
Yeah, at United. That's what I'm saying.
I loved it. You know, I don't know what it was. It was totally different because maybe we had the players in the middle of the pitch at United who could control the game, and that helps you when you start left hand side.
And you can go.
Yeah, you can do what you want basically. Yeah. With England, I never felt there was that kind of control in midfield where you could relax a little bit.
How many games did you actually play on the left? Was it a lot? Was it just that tournament in 2004?
No,
or was it a bit before that?
I don't know, Jim. I couldn't tell you.
Was that tournament?
It wasn't loads.
Was it after the tournament you just said, right, I'm done?
Yeah, it was after...
It's the day after.
The Portugal... Was it the Portugal tournament?
Yeah, I remember you speaking to me in the morning just before Sven was doing his meeting and saying, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I was like,
look, I went to see Sven, yeah. We played... I felt I played badly, really, for quite some time. I hadn't...
Was it because of the position you felt you was in?
No, it was absolutely nothing to do with the position. I just... Because, like I said, it didn't matter what position you played. It still don't mean you have to give the ball away, or
of course.
Do you know what I mean? Or be able to receive the ball. I still felt I could do all that, but I was so bad. My form was so bad. I think the first 18 games or something, I scored 9 goals for England, and then the next 40 games, I'd scored 4 goals or something. So it was just so bad, and I felt.
But was that the environment as well, Scholes? Was it just the whole, sometimes the package you're going away with international football? No?
You didn't like going away that much, did you?
No, I never did, no.
Like whatever, so you've got to be happy in the environment to get the best out of players, don't you?
Yeah.
I saw Kevin De Bruyne this morning said that he wants to retire, I think, or something like that. And it took me back, actually, to there's a point where I think it came with you, didn't it, where you just thought, that's it, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't playing well. And when you're not playing well, you hate it.
Yeah, but why were you not playing well? Because you were obviously playing well for your club.
Don't know.
But what's the reason? You must have an idea.
I don't know. I don't know the reason.
You know what I'm saying?
If I knew the reason, I'd sort it out and play well.
No, my point is, though, was it a case of, obviously, you'll always look at yourself and you'll take responsibility, but then was there a case of, we were very much a rigid 4-4-2. You remember when Sven used to do his team talks? We were a 4-4-2. He would literally bring the 2 blocks back, he'd bring the 4 in. He said, this is the shape that we're going to... He would, and it would literally be your 2 full-backs...
But did you have an issue with that, I'm saying?
No, my point is, we played 4-4-2 at United, so it wasn't something that was actually foreign to us. Right. But my point is that with England, it felt very rigid and different, whereas with United, it felt like we could. Things did.
That's why I go back to the environment.
It didn't suit the players we had, did it, really?
Right. It didn't suit the players we had,
Frank Steven, none of them are really that kind of controlling midfield.
I think it's interesting what you said, Scholes. I always think this, because you always obviously bring Scholes up when you're doing the TV in the summer about, we've never really produced that player. You played with England with Steve before Frank came along. It was you and Steve. I always felt that you were more... Maybe I'm not quite sure, but you were more the attacker one, and Stevie was seen as like the...
Under Kevin he was. One. Under Kevin he was.
Yeah, but even Sven, it was like Frank came a bit later, and I always felt you were... So I don't think you ever played that role for England where you...
No,
that you did for United when Carrick...
That's what I said before. I was never allowed time. And you don't get it. International level, you think of managers changing all the time, players all the time. I was allowed time to do that with United, because I was never an athlete, was I? It was the last thing I was an athlete, so I couldn't keep doing that. I couldn't keep going forward all the time. At some point, I had to realise that I had to change my game to try and be controlling midfield, but that didn't happen until I was like 29, 30.
I think I'm realising you needed me near you, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
That's the bottom line. Lads.
I needed legs next to me, right?
Yeah, you needed an athlete. You know.
Yeah.
When you look at Declan Rice now in central midfield for England, do you think he can play that deep line midfield role?
Yes.
You do think he can play that?
I think it's his best role, yeah.
You do think he's better deeper?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Roy, what do you think? Roy, you don't think that?
I don't think he can get the ball off the back four the way in which, like a Rodri can, or a...
I know, but that's
I
so
think-
harsh.
I think he
That
can.
is so harsh.
I think that's his biggest strength.
I think he
What,
can.
Gary, you don't
I
think
thought
he can turn
Gary's
up? You can
persuading me. No, I think he may be.
No, I think he's
running
better.
faster.
I think he's better in that left channel for Arsenal with like a
Well, he can do
Jorginho
his job,
sitting. I think
don't get me
I
wrong.
honestly believe he's better running
Well,
forward.
what don't you think he can do in the 6?
I think he
That's
can do it
causing
all.
a problem then.
I think in the 6, I'm not saying he's not a competent player in 6. I'm talking about in the tournament when we're talking about get on the ball, get us playing, keep us moving, get control of a game. I'm not sure that's what he does.
I agree.
One thing he does in that position, he takes too many touches.
But that's my point.
Yeah, but if you're... Yeah, but
Does he
tell
know
him not to.
But does he know how to receive the ball on the half turn and where to get the ball?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think so?
I think so. Right. The thing when you talk about a midfield player that's you want him running onto the ball, then you're thinking he's got to be scoring you 15, 20 goals a season. I can't see Declan Rice doing that.
No, I think he can
That's
score.
good,
I think
10,
he's
12
got a
goals
goal in
season.
him.
I think he has.
And I think he
What,
can run
15
it.
to 20?
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot for any midfielder. But I definitely think if he had that role at Arsenal and there was guaranteed someone sitting behind him, I think he'd certainly get double figures. I think he'd get 10. I think he's got a technique to score a goal.
he did have
Even
that
his
role
goal
for
against
Arsenal. He's got
Ireland,
to be able to do
you
that.
saw him against
He's got to
Ireland.
be.
I know the opposition were a bit more, obviously they were dominating the game. The way he gets in for the first goal and the way he creates the second one. I think he can do that.
I thought
he
can do it.
at Arsenal when
For the
we-
last 20 games this season.
He can do
because
it.
that's when we pushed up. We pushed up, and that's where he was. He's further
When he
up.
brought Jorginho in,
Yeah.
basically,
I know, but
he
even
released him.
when you go back to sort of Roy, when you were playing, you think of sort of Robson, yourself. I'm just thinking of Man United, Ince in there. You didn't say he's a holder or you were just a midfield player.
Yeah.
And that, when I think of Declan Rice, and I know the game's sort of like someone's a 6, someone's an 8, someone's a 10, and all that, but it's like I think he can. You would get back and defend. You would get forward and attack.
Yeah, that was
get a
always in a
goal.
2 though.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm
always in a
saying
two,
is I
yeah.
think he can. He's that midfield player for me. I think he can do both of them. He can play that 8 where he can power forward.
can
But
do
I
all
think
of
he
them,
can
yeah.
also play the defensive role. He can get on the ball. And when you're saying he's not Modric or Rodri, of course he's not. No. But I think it's hard to sort of say to someone, he's not good enough because he's not the best. He's not as good as the best person in the world at receiving the ball. I'm thinking that's a high bar, considering he can probably do more than them in terms of other areas. You know, they could be that.
But I
number 8
think with Arsenal having the option of having another sit midfielder, I think he's more than capable of just playing a bit higher up. And I think he has got more goals in him.
He done that.
That's where I'd like to see him.
He has to prove that, though, doesn't he?
No, but I'd like to see him.
high role.
I'd like to see him
I think
arrive.
I think he'd
What
do it
age is
easily.
Rice? What age is Rice?
He's only young.
He's still a young
5,
kid. He's still a young kid learning his trade. For that sitting role, again, I started learning that as I was getting to my late 20s. So still plenty of time for him to pick up on them traits about getting on it and dictating the pace of a game. But I agree. I think he's more than capable of getting on the end of things and getting.
I think people
goals.
look back and see you as a sitting midfield player, don't they?
Yeah.
I
goals I scored. Yeah.
I never thought that about him, though, do you?
Well, since he's
He's a midfield player.
No, I see his career in 2 phases, basically. The first part, which was marauding, and the second part where he was more of a holding midfield player that was controlling.
Yeah, and that happens to lots of midfielders, isn't it? Yeah.
How old was Ince when he kind of went into that sitting role as well?
But
He was late as well.
Ince
think he ever
was
played.
sprinting
Did he ever
forward
play
like you wouldn't
really?
believe
Yeah.
at United. Ince was running forward at
But
United.
wasn't it something about Alex Ferguson wanted him to be a sitter and he didn't want to do that?
Yeah.
Why he got insulted in the end?
It
Well,
sounds
that role
crazy.
never really happened at United, did it?
What,
But
sitting?
that 6 role.
During the 1995 Cup final against Everton, I don't know if this is true, but I didn't know whether he thought, because Roy and Ince both liked at times in the game to go forward, and I think there was like the goal, obviously both of you I think went forward at the same time.
You got it on video. It's true. Defend myself.
They emptied midfield, right?
Yeah,
So
they
I think
did,
there was an element of him thinking, well, can they play together? It's almost like a Gerrard Lampard type. They were both unbelievable players, but could they play together as a pair? You know what I mean?
You know, sometimes you trust your defenders to defend. You know what I mean?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Rideout ran off the back. You did it, yeah? Was that, you know what I mean?
Who?
Ride out. Ride out.
Get out.
You've just said I left midfield
I might
empty
get him
there.
playing for that goal as well.
Well, you know, when 2 midfielders go over, some defenders, you're expected to defend 1v1s.
Yeah, I started the game, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finished it, yeah.
Yeah, can we see the goal? Has someone got can we see the goal here?
Did you
Can we
go
get the
to
goal in
centre
that?
back?
Please.
I went to centre back in the
And
second
you went
half.
to right back?
Where's the Paul Rideout?
Did you go right back in the second half?
I think he
I
did.
had a tight hamstring and went right back.
You just said you don't like 6, 8, 10.
Yeah.
It pisses you off. What's that mean?
I don't mind number 10.
But you
Because
don't-
number 10 is a position. 6 and 8 is in midfield. Well, it's 2 midfield players, isn't it? But one shouldn't have to do one job. Both of them should have to do. Well, should be able to do everything.
What do you mean? So
you're a
what do you
midfield
mean?
player.
So if it's time for him to, he just goes. And if he has to,
You take turns each. Yeah, exactly.
That's when you've got the two midfield. I think a lot of teams don't play with the three. That's why they do have an out-and-out midfielder.
Yeah,
but when I played with you, Scholes, sometimes I'd go forward. Yeah, people ask me, so what was it with Scholes? Your butty or inch? You go, well, one went forward, the other one would sit. It was as simple as that.
I think
no confusion with it.
football's a lot more structured though now in terms of positioning.
Probably,
Pep
yeah.
likes his
That's what I'm
players to
saying.
play in these positions.
Yeah, it's all Pep's fault, isn't it? No, Jesus.
You know,
No, it is.
People say that, and I've heard him say about his training session, you've got to be in this area of the pitch and stuff, but you see people like Bernardo Silva, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's all
He's
over
changed
the
a little
pitch.
bit the last 12 to
I think
18
it has
months, I
changed a
think,
bit,
yeah, a little bit.
Kevin De Bruyne, he's
Silva
everywhere.
and De Bruyne
Yeah.
when they were in front.
In possession, maybe. What about older?
Not anymore, though.
Midfield player. Oh God, we got through his name. Brazilian
Fabinho, Fernandinho.
Fernandinho. Yeah, they were very much in those left and right channels and never moved. It has changed, I think, for City now slightly. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This show is in association with BetterHelp. The kids are back at school, and I remember that meant new subjects to learn and new skills to master. Then as a youth player at United, the new season meant new tactics, new ideas and new challenges. As adults, we don't often get that same chance to learn new things. But if you could, what would you love to teach yourself? A new hobby, a language, or getting some help with the golf swing? Therapy can be like your own personal back-to-school moment, rediscovering how good it feels to learn new skills no matter your age. And if you've been thinking about therapy, why not give BetterHelp a try? It's completely online, flexible, and fits around your schedule. Just fill out a quick questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and if it's not the right fit, you can switch anytime at no extra cost. The tools I learned in therapy were brilliant. Just like some of my school lessons, they're still useful to me today. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/STF today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/STF. Lee Carsley. So he says he doesn't feel comfortable in the job, which I thought was a strange statement. That really. I mean, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
it's an honest thing to say. I think he's right to say it because he genuinely feels like that. This is why I felt for him when I was saying they should kind of chaperone him a little bit more because he's very much thinking.
In what way, Righty? He's got to do interviews on his own.
Yeah, but they should let him know the kind of questions he may ask, and if this is asked, they need to chaperone because the guy's mind's on the game. He's trying to think of how am I going to get these free camps, get them right, so I might get this job. You know, ever likely he's saying, yeah, of course he feels a little bit nervous about what he's done. It doesn't suit yet because he's focused on something else.
Do you think he means the media part of the job, or do you think he can't mean the coaching part of the job?
No. The coaching part of the job, I think, is something that he's all over. I think the media, that side of it, I think they just naturally just left him to think, oh, he'll deal with it like Gareth does. He's not going to do that. They should make sure they help him in that race so he can focus.
And there is protocols, you know, for managing before games, you have to do interviews and get your team. I think that was all. He seemed to be a little bit caught up with that side of it.
Yeah, I think so.
People in the background are going, listen, this is the format before a game. Whatever, if you're going to be hands-on at coaching.
That's the same at club level now, you know. You have to do interviews before
That's what I'm
a game,
saying,
after a game. It's like,
But he hasn't really done that, though, has he? He's not a manager, is he?
No. But I'm saying, because they know how it works, they know how the press are. He had 40 games for the Republic of Ireland. He's got Jack, he's got Declan playing. They're going to ask him these questions. They're going to do that anthem thing. They're going to throw something in that throws him off a bit to make it. And I thought that he was quite honest about what he said.
Did anyone have a problem with the national anthem part of it?
No, it's a choice.
Well, we didn't really sing it, did we?
I didn't sing it, so I've got no leg to stand on at all. I didn't sing it at all in the early days because I wanted to concentrate on the game, similar to what he said.
He didn't sing it when he played for Ireland.
He didn't sing it when he played for Ireland either.
It's just embarrassing from the press actually bringing that up and just making a big deal out of it.
No, it wasn't nice.
I felt for him in that sense.
It won't go away, that, I don't think.
You saw again last night.
It will continue to be mentioned.
When the anthem's on, it's bam, straight in his face.
Yeah. Should the FA be looking for a new England manager now?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I'm sure they are.
They probably
should
are.
the FA be actively looking for a new
I think
England manager now?
I think there's only two people for me. I think Carsley's got the job now. They look at what Gareth Southgate did when he came sort of through the FA, St George's Park. Lee Carsley knows the players, had a great record on the 21 level, and he started well. And I think the other one's Eddie Howe. I can't see how.
So you think it's going to be Carsley or Eddie Howe?
Yeah, it looks to me as if there's something going on behind the scenes with Newcastle that I think eventually something's going to happen, whenever that may be.
But Lee Carsley's in the driving seat, isn't he?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think it's either that one or Eddie Howe. If it was me, I'd have Eddie Howe.
Scholes? I'll work around that way.
Yeah, I think the big problem with England, obviously the problem is when we come to playing a big team, that's when we really struggle. All these games now are easy, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I think you need somebody with a bit of stature. I'd look at Lee Carsley and think, if there was a...
Did Garrett have it before he got the job? Did Garrett have it? Garrett
Well, no, he didn't know.
Did he gain it? I think he did.
Yeah, look, we've done all right.
Yeah.
But I think there's a group of players now that can win something. Look, I might be deluded there. I don't know. But I think with a manager with statues on the other side, statue on the other side, who's say against Mancini in the final. I think Mancini probably looking at Southgate. I can beat him. And I think.
It's all definitely part of the package.
I think every other manager look at Lee Carsley and think, I will beat him.
Yeah. But they'll all be looking now at the Spanish coach having done well, and people go, "Oh, that can be done."
Yeah, but it's only
true enough.
It's going to come down to.
I think the manager's less important at international level.
I'd go with Carsley. I don't know who would you go with?
I don't know who'd go. Someone with stature. I'm not sure Eddie Howe's got that stature. I like him. I think he's really good with Newcastle, but again, he's not won anything.
Well, when you say stature scores, are you talking about a Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola?
Yes, or a Jose Mourinho, something like that.
Okay, so then we're talking about what are we criticising Southgate for? We're criticising for one decision or one moment in a final of, say, you've just said Mancini, or the final against Spain. We'll all be sitting there thinking, oh, could he have done this or could he have done that? And we've just got this idea that when this one moment comes, Klopp or Pep are going to get it right. I mean, how many times has Pep, we've said, overthought a big Champions League game at Man City, or he doesn't play Rodri in the final? These are just those one.
Fernandinho and all that stuff.
I just think
I'd feel better with Pep there than Lee Carsley, wouldn't you?
Of course. Listen, we know he's a better manager. My point being, I just think this. I don't get the foreign. I don't think England should be having a foreign manager. I think a country of our stature, we should not be having. I think it's cheating, if I'm being totally honest.
It feels like the prestige of the England manager's gone a little bit.
No, but whatever it is, I just don't think...
It used to be a big thing.
I think it's a big thing now, no?
Still a big
No, I agree with
I thought it was a big thing, but I think it is waning.
But you want a manager or coach of England, because all these players who turn up for England have got brilliant coaches every week.
Exactly.
I still think you want to turn up, and when you stand for your country and see a manager go, yeah, I like.
Yeah, you've got that respect.
That's what I'm talking about, stature.
But when you think of a
personality.
manager at international level, he can't buy anyone. He can't really improve the players. Yeah. So all he can do is make sure you pick the right team, create an environment where people want to be there. Yeah. That's why I think the stick Southgate got, I think, was way over the top. So that's what he did.
Well, I agree. I couldn't agree more with you.
He changed the atmosphere, didn't
he? He changed the atmosphere. And I know people, what you said before, right, and I get that, like, oh, he could have played this one, he could have played that one. The big test for Lee Carsley or any England manager coming in is, how do you get Saka, Palmer, Foden, Bellingham, Anthony Gordon, Harry, how do you get them in the same team? It's hard. So in the summer, Southgate's trying to do this, and he goes 3 at the back. He puts Saka at wing back because he's just trying to juggle, and that'll be a big test for Lee Carsley or any England manager. We've got so many good players in the one position.
So are we saying that someone with stature is going to have that any easier than someone like Lee Carsley?
No, of course. What I'm saying is that the basic requirement
question,
at an international level is creating a togetherness, which was definitely there under Southgate. Picking what we'd all probably say 9 players. We'd all have our own little one here and there. Yeah. Not doing something daft. And what Southgate was brilliant at, which I think Lee Carsley will struggle with, is dealing with the media. I think we saw that in these first couple of weeks. Gareth Southgate was really good at sort of just calming things down. And also, he had stature, not as a manager, but he played in 4 or 5 tournaments for England. Which
you're saying, Eddie Howe, you're saying that you think you would go for a manager with stature, which is a Pep or a Klopp or of that ilk. What you've both been there across it in the last sort of 72 hours, what would your feeling be? You closer to it than us in terms of seeing.
Well, obviously, he's guaranteed the next few games, isn't he?
Yeah.
I do think he's got to win. He's got to win, obviously, all the games.
I think he'll win those games. You know.
Yeah, but it's how you win them. I think if he just beats Greece 1-0 or whatever, and Finland 1-0 away, and you start.
Will they really appoint the England manager based on whether they beat Greece well or not? I mean, is that what?
I think it's important. I think it's a factor. If they turn up and they beat Greece, and these young players are still playing with this so-called freedom, but it's how you win them. I think it's how you win them. And I don't think the last 2 games they've been that convincing. I think it's been comfortable. Ireland and Finland have been really poor, but I think Greece will certainly be a better test for him. And he's got
Would you stick with him right now if you're not an England fan or player or not even...
For the next few games, yeah.
Would you stick with him just... is he your permanent appointment for England?
I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be shocked if I said I'm getting the job, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they went for an Eddie Howe or they waited till the summer and they thought a Pep or somebody that might be available. Who knows? Again, we don't know what the English FA are thinking. But I think Lee is certainly, what a great position. He's got a few games, winnable games. If they can win it convincingly, I think he's got a great chance. And listen, good luck to him if he gets an opportunity.
Will the players have a say in it because of the experience of them and the success of a relative success of them over the last few tournaments?
What do you mean, the saying? Who's going to be
will the sort of sporting director, the FA, the technical director, be speaking to the senior players and saying, "What do you think?"
I think they will.
I think they might be. I don't know, but
I think the big plus for him is obviously what he's hanging his hat as always what we do on the 21s, and they're coming through. There's a bit of trust with all that. I think that's a big thumbs up for him.
He's one with a lot of them. He's one with a lot of them who are probably going to start getting in. A lot of them know him. I think that I know the games. We're talking about how easy the games are, but like for 2 years, with what he's doing, I'd give it to him.
Greece home and away might be.
So you'd give it to him, right?
I'd give it to him simply because we've seen like what Gareth's achieved as the under-21 manager. We've seen Spain give it to their guy, De La Fuente, give it to him, and he's done well. I don't know what his stature is. No. Honestly,
I think he'd manage. I think he'd do more than he can.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is. But what I'm saying is that I think that there must be something to draw upon from winning at under 21 level with certain players.
Yeah, but we're talking about giving the England manager's job to not a manager.
They're giving it to a coach. That's where it's going now, though, isn't it?
They're all coaches now, aren't they?
They're all coaches now.
But do the English FA also want to send a message that they promote within? Is that a message that they don't know about Gareth?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not for an international manager because I think that English coaching doesn't get enough promotion at all in the Premier League, in our own league. Manager, yeah. So for us to actually appoint a foreign manager in our own national team is almost like it's self-harming.
You enjoyed working for Sven, and did you enjoy playing under Sven?
No, I think at the time I bought into the idea that we tried everything and that we needed to go and be international. But now I've obviously worked under Sven. I was in one squad under Capello. I think now with the fact that British coaching, English coaching is struggling badly to create a name.
But were you bothered that they weren't English?
No, not at the time. But I think now, having seen the fact that over the last 20 years, British coaching has been damaged just irreparably at times.
But a lot of these English players every day are working with foreign coaches.
They are, and they're in the clubs. But my point is, I think...
Is it like PR maybe to get an
English? It's so hard to get a top job as an English coach. And I think if we're giving our top job in this country to an international manager, I think that would send out a bad message. I don't think for one minute the FA are going to give it to an international manager. They're not going to do that because it's St George's Park and the pathway. They're not going to do it.
If you're both saying so about an English manager, one sec, Roy, please. So if you're both saying you want an English manager and you're thinking maybe Eddie Howe, Jamie, I probably would go with Kazi because of his experience with the under-21s and that. And Eddie obviously has managed at a certain level in the Premier League. But I would probably go with Kazi for that reason. You know, I know Eddie, and if you are going with English, then we have to, and we're going to try and promote from within, which we've seen it's been successful before. Then why wouldn't we all just back Carsley now? He's in the seat. Because
they've done that with Gareth, though, haven't they? And I know they've been great, but everyone's saying we're nothing. We're all slagging Gareth off. And that's exactly what we did with him.
I think if they can't get Eddie Howe, I think that they would be probably, to be fair, that's why they've given it him for 6 games. If they can't get Eddie Howe out by Christmas because he stays there and ultimately Newcastle keep him, I think they will 100% give him the job.
Yeah.
Because I think if there's someone else available now that was ready to be able to go in, they would have got him.
Why is Pep's available next summer?
They will know.
International football is what your best against their best.
But they'd know. You'd think so.
Spain don't have a foreign manager. Italy don't have one. Brazil don't have one. It's like
Brazil trying to get.
It's not about them trying to get Ancelotti. The biggest nations don't do it, but we have to.
Right, that's the end of part 1. I'm ending it. We've got Super 6. What we are going to do to start with is celebrate the fact that for the last 18 months, no one has won Super 6. But the last Premier League round of games, where the final game was obviously the horrific Manchester United 3-0 loss to Liverpool, a gentleman had the right scores at 56 minutes when Mo Salah scored and then went for a walk, hoping that it was going to come in because he had £1 million on the line.
Chance, we were giving Sobbers sniff, weren't we, for not putting it away?
And basically, £1 million came his way and he won. And his name is Tom. Is Tom here? Where's Tom?
Oh, Tom!
Come on, Tom! Come on, Tom!
No, it's all right. Tom doesn't. I don't think Tom wants to come on.
Tom doesn't,
He's too shy. No, bro.
Tom doesn't want to be on the camera because you don't want anyone to know you've got £1 million quid, basically. You're not told.
When you got the news that it happened, did you cry? Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done, Tom.
Brilliant, Tom. Well done, mate.
Well done, Tom.
Invest it wisely.
Nice one.
Nice car, holiday board.
Right, we're going to start. Go on, Ben, you're away. Sorry, Ben.
It's all right.
I'm getting out of the way.
What side are you on? Who are you going with?
I think they need help. They need help.
We say that every week.
Because you lose every week.
I know.
Hang on.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Exactly.
Hang on.
Oh.
Gary and Jamie last week. You got 9 points.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, that.
Because I done.
What did I get?
Well,
That's pretty good, isn't it?
I did
Good.
do well
9 points.
last time.
You got
Please.
1 correct score, 2 correct results. Roy and Ian, you got 4 points. 2 correct results.
Wait a second.
What was the score then? Remind
Why
us
are you
of the
building it up
scores.
like we've done better?
Yeah.
I felt that in your voice.
They're the most experienced pundits of all time when it comes to this.
What was the score from the last game?
You got...
Have you got them down there?
yeah, all there,
Let me
yeah.
see.
I need my glasses.
Which ones did you get right?
Scholes, you need to help them.
Arsenal Wolves, you went 3-1.
I said 2-1, you said 3. I remember. I
Scholes,
swear.
you need to help them. Right, let's go.
Right,
Tottenham
anyway,
Arsenal.
I'm not
Right,
sure
so
I've
first
been able
game,
to do
Tottenham
that.
Arsenal. Tottenham Arsenal's a big game. Let's have a little bit of
I think we're going to go 1-1, are we?
Exactly.
You go-
1-1.
You go for it.
Yeah, we'll go first.
What's the big things you're looking for in this game?
Tottenham Arsenal?
Yeah.
I
when did you think Des line
Tottenham
up?
will put them in
Got to build the brand, lads. I've got £1 million quid. I've got a mortgage to pay.
Go on, James, what did you say?
I think Tottenham will dominate the game, but Arsenal's defence will make sure they get something from the game.
And you, Gary?
No, I just think that Arsenal could have a couple of players. Well, they have got a couple of players out, big players. Declan Rice and Ødegaard, probably. So I think that will harm them. They are massive players for Arsenal.
1-1.
1-1.
Love that.
They're not going to copy us, are they?
You got 5 goals in this game.
No, I've got about 6, I think.
You're too
Go for
emotional.
something bold.
You're just too emotional about this. You're too emotional already. You'll be crying. Honestly, you'll be crying in 10 minutes.
Ian, Roy, Paul, what would you say about the derby?
2-1 Tottenham.
If Arsenal lose and City win, can Arsenal win the league?
No, because 4 games.
League's
That's
over.
what City. That's what City have done.
Scholes, what do you think of it as well? These two take an age, by the way.
I said
You play
2-1
3 games
Tottenham.
and
2-1
draw.
Tottenham.
Exactly. The league's over.
2-1 Tottenham.
What are you
Do
saying?
you think this is the best derby? Do you think? Do you like this derby?
Look, I've been Sky 10 years.
It is the best.
This is
derby.
my favourite game.
It is the best derby.
It's my favourite game too for Sky. Honestly, 10 years I've been doing it. It's unbelievable, this game.
NLD.
Brilliant.
What are we going with?
The game's unbelievable, Scholes. Have you done one?
No, I think we're better.
He's watched them on the telly.
Have you done one?
Mesmerised.
No, watch this game.
Desmond. We're going
live.
Desmond.
We're
Brilliant.
going to go 2-2.
You were never going to go Arsenal lose, were you?
Well, no,
So
because...
Arsenal's
and I'm-
defence are going to concede two.
Well, that's what I'm... Well, the thing is...
I wouldn't say
So,
that.
Oh, you put a doubt in his mind.
Tottenham have looked good, though, haven't they, don't you think?
Yeah, Tottenham are hammered everything.
Could have won every game.
I think that our defence is good. If we go there and get the point at this week, and I'm not being negative with what we've got missing, I think that's a good.
Yeah,
good
two
Yeah.
big, two
It's
big
like the
players.
point at home to
missing.
Brighton. You were delighted with that a couple of weeks ago.
I wasn't delighted with it, but I'd take it in the
Brighton
end. I'd take it in the end.
Right, City Brentford. What are we going? 3, 4?
Our goal, isn't it?
3-0.
It's our goal. It's our goal.
Oh, it's your goal, yeah,
go on.
sorry. Sorry. They'll nick our score now.
2 or 3-1, isn't it?
Oh, I knew they'd nick our one. I knew they'd nick our score.
I fancy Haaland.
If they go
I feel
3-0,
Haaland's going to score a hat trick
Haaland.
again. Yeah.
Go.
Do you get extra points if Haaland gets a hat trick now? If I said that.
Yeah, you can do, yeah. If you like.
Nice one.
you need them.
You heard that.
2 or 3-1? 2 or
hat-trick.
3-0?
I don't. Are you giving him a
2-0. We scored 2-0.
Only scored 2 Man City.
Score a
though.
hat trick.
Really?
One's then ruled out for offside.
Okay, go on.
2-0.
2-0.
They always score more than 2 in a row, don't they?
Right, 3-1.
3-1. 3-1.
Headed that bit
Birmo's
out.
going to get
You know something?
Yeah,
if
on the
if
counter.
that's 3-1, I'm not doing it again. I'll just go to the toilet this
Go on
stage,
then.
man.
Liverpool Forest.
Liverpool Forest.
2-0. Probably rest a couple for Milan.
He loved
midweek.
2-0. Just
They're in control of it. It's a bit more slower, and it's just they get
Trent,
2-0 after an
Trent.
hour.
And
The
they
game's
just like
Trent will get a hat trick if he's higher up.
2-0. 2-0. They just do enough. Probably make a few couple of changes for Milan.
Why is the United game not on there, by the way?
it shouldn't be at the moment.
It's 12:30.
I just don't think.
Considering this is the Man United podcast.
I really don't think they've got any business on there at the minute.
We've just talked about England and everything. We've not talked about United at all.
3-1.
Oh my God.
Mate, Gibbs White. I'm telling you. Good
Okay,
score.
yeah, Gibbs White.
3-1.
Yeah.
I'll go Villa Everton.
Liverpool haven't conceded a goal yet, you know.
Oh, God,
Exactly.
this is,
So that means our
you
shoots
said,
concede
you said
one.
2 weeks ago, Roy.
Everyone loves that.
Roy, you said 2 weeks ago, you put all your money on Villa to beat Everton. That was
Yeah.
your prediction.
That's
I think
that was your bank.
That is a lot of money.
Gary.
That is a lot of money.
You said you get everything.
Not as much as what he's got over there. I
4-0.
4.
Villa.
He never scored Everton, though.
Villa.
4-0.
When's the last time they scored at Villa Park, bro?
3-0 or 3-1.
3. Okay, we just done a 3-1.
I know we can do another 3-1.
Okay, go
Paul,
on.
what
then.
do you think?
You never
What
get
do you think,
2
Paul?
3-1s in the same weekend.
No,
No, it doesn't matter, Paul. What you say.
Scholes, what do you think?
3-1.
No,
3-1.
What's
They
your
need
first?
advice.
What's your first reaction?
3-0.
We'd give Everton a
See, he
goal.
would've went.
I always give somebody a goal.
3-1. Everton don't score, do they?
I know, they've got a goal in them, though, a set piece.
Who's first? Oh,
2-0, I think.
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0.
You love 2-0.
So boring, Gary.
Villa are
Another
good.
2-0, we got
Villa are
another
good
3-1.
defence.
4 off. Jeez.
This is us, Bournemouth, Chelsea, is it?
Oh, Bournemouth.
Bournemouth are
Bournemouth.
definitely scoring
Bournemouth to win
three.
9-0.
Game, that.
Bournemouth
Chelsea
is
win
scoring
that.
3.
2-1 Chelsea. We don't hang around.
Yeah,
What do you say?
2-1 Chelsea.
You usually need to
Are
be
you
more
having Chelsea at the
decisive.
minute?
Oh, no.
He
Damn it,
likes that
Chelsea.
score. He likes that score.
Most probably scoring.
He likes that score.
2-2? Oh. Or 1-1?
Yeah, Chelsea.
Go for the same as us.
They're cooking.
At least you know you won't lose an extra point.
1-1.
He's going 1-1.
1-1. We go 1-1.
That's Paul. Newcastle Wolves.
Newcastle.
Never has a more
Wolves
decisive man been indecisive.
Wolves are
Never has a more decisive man.
Struggled a bit, haven't they?
Wolves have struggled.
Newcastle got a lot of players international duty.
And Eddie Howe speaking to the English FA. He's already left the building.
Problems with Paul Mitchell and sport.
Yeah.
He's probably having an argument as we speak.
Yeah.
with someone up there.
No, I think that's got a draw written all over it. 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah. We're back in
I
it.
feel like we're on the same
Yeah,
page.
right.
We're finishing each
We're
other's
a bit of
sentences.
fun,
isn't it?
exactly.
That's better, Roy.
That's all I'm not feeling at all, that game. I don't know what's going to happen in that.
Wow, that's not what you're about.
You don't follow football.
I
You're
don't-
not, you're not a student of the
If Tom
game.
done
Follow
that,
football, I
if
just-
Tom done that, would he be sitting
Yeah.
there with $1 million quid?
Tom, did you guess?
Tom, what would you do on this last game?
I didn't know.
Okay, we're going to.
Right, well done, Ben.
You know, I'd love if out of all that, the only one was right is Tom's 2-1.
Appearance, we've got Mythbusters of Scholes. Are these true or false?
All right.
Right? It's not for you, Scholes. But you'll have to tell us whether they are true or false. Prior to becoming a professional football player, Paul Scholes worked as a plasterer's assistant to support himself.
Right.
He only began playing for United Youth Academy at 14.
He's plaster
plasterer's
assistant at what,
assistant.
12?
See, exactly.
Was you support?
says
Was you
it.
assistant?
To support
Was you
himself.
assistant manager to the?
Regional manager.
I'm not having that.
Hang on a minute. You just keep quiet for a second. You know the answer. We don't. What do you reckon? Plaster. I've never heard that, and I've known him for like 35 years.
I don't get the impression that he's doing plastering at that age.
I'm just thinking, it's the plastering. Imagine him.
Too small.
I know you did plastering.
He only done bungalows.
They do have ladders, you know.
I forgot about that.
If he was a bit older, but then he would have been at
You said he
United.
did it
No,
before he went
he
to
didn't.
United.
I don't think he's
I've
done
done it
that.
at 12.
You heard what I said.
I don't believe he done that.
No, that
I
can't
think
be
I,
true.
that
No, I
can't
don't.
I'm going to say it's daft enough to say something, because of I just know that he will have probably
What can we find out?
he'll have probably thought, 'cause I know what he's like, if he don't like something, he just walks out.
Wow.
He does.
He'd leave half a wall.
If you like,
He's not left the podcast yet, has he?
if you're like at a dinner or something and you just think after half an hour, you'll just literally backdoor it, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. He could have easily done that at school.
Could he do it on
He
a
could have just
could he,
literally walked all day and thought, I'm not having this.
could he have done it on a wall?
Oh, so you mean like
Could he have done it on
work
a wall?
experience?
He was
Plastering?
in double history or something, he just thought, nah.
I might have done it while I was plastering as well.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right, I'm going to say there might be a chance of it. You say no.
No.
We're saying a no then, it's a no. Were you a plasterer's assistant?
No.
Of course he wasn't.
He wasn't.
What are you on
Move
about,
on.
you?
Jesus
created
Christ.
this.
Who made that up?
Who made
You
that
know
up?
better than anyone.
I know, but I'd never heard
The
it.
internet.
Right.
Nice one, Scholes.
I was a
Right, Gary Neville
milkman
further
for 2
points
weeks.
out
I
that
was-
whilst people believe Scholes is shy, he can be an absolute pain in the ass, constantly nicking your car keys, your wedding ring, your phone, the time I must have wasted looking for something he'd hidden. Is it true that you used to nick teammates' car keys, wedding rings, phones and hide them?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I'll have Scholesy probably doing that.
Nuisance, yeah.
Not wedding rings.
Because he's got a good...
Car keys, yeah, car keys, yeah.
You nicked
You
my
don't
car.
leave them knocking about, do you?
You must
I
have...
didn't nick your car.
Scholes was an accomplished pianist in his youth and nearly pursued a career in music before ultimately choosing football.
Fucking hell. Who wrote that?
He was a what? Penis. Oh, penis. Oh, right. I was like,
True or false? I think that's false.
that's false. Of course it is.
What?
You're a pianist?
Pianist.
Because some of these been vaguely like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I can't imagine. I can't imagine Paul.
You're on the road trip. You got
Paul
distracted.
Scholes travelled with Patrick Vieira to do a famous Nike cage advert.
Cage.
Yeah, so I'll have that one.
Yeah, he must.
Yeah,
I don't remember it though, do you?
Scholes
Yeah, I
won,
do.
like,
Yeah,
didn't he? Yeah,
I
you
do
must have done
remember,
it.
Did you do a Nike cage advert?
Of course he
Of course he did.
So what did you do in the cage?
did. Play
Played football.
Fucking don't know. Kicked a ball, yeah, probably. It was only like 1 second on it or something. But it was after. Have you said yeah, by the way?
Yeah, we've done
It was
it.
after we played United Arsenal, didn't we? Sunday. And we flew with the Arsenal players. Private jet.
Oh, little Arnold Scholes. Shy lad.
Yeah.
In the contract.
Zing.
In the contract. The night contract, yeah.
So it was
you
on
go
there.
with
It
that?
was on there with you.
Was that cash?
Yeah.
Was that,
That's just you two.
No,
Was that cash only?
Freddie Lundberg, was he? Yeah.
Freddie would have been involved. Yeah,
Jesus.
Freddie. Yeah.
I never got any deals there, did you?
You can't have enjoyed that. I can't
No,
imagine you.
fucking
Have,
hated it.
Why?
I can't imagine
Why?
you after a game going with Patrick Vieira and Freddie Lundberg to a shoot.
Well, no, I didn't.
Were they sitting up that end of? Were they sitting up that end of the plane
I was at
talking
the
about
back,
you down
yeah,
there?
I was at the back, yeah.
And were they whispering and looking back at you?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, you get that impression, don't you?
He was trying to steal their car keys and their wedding rings. Yeah.
What's he saying? No, I did all right, did nice actually.
They're cool guys, both of them. Are.
Great lads.
Great lads.
Great
Also great lads.
Hey.
Students of the game.
But they didn't wear Adidas, did they?
Well, that's-
One time in England
big
training, you scored 3 or 4 goals, including 25 yards, and then the session was over. The rest of the England players formed a guard of honour and clapped you off the pitch.
It's your question, why are you looking at me?
I don't think that happened. I mean, I was.
Yeah.
would have probably.
The 3 screams would have happened, but it wouldn't have been.
If anyone's going to get that kind of like treatment, it'd probably be Scholesy. I'd probably say that's true. That one.
But a guard of honour?
Yeah, because it's a
would've
lot.
done
It's a
that?
joke.
I'm trying to
Well,
think
we'll
of
find
players.
out, won't we, when he tells us?
Right, was that true?
I don't remember it. Thingy, I read about it. It was Kieran Dyer who said it, but I don't remember. I don't think.
So Kieran Dyer said that there was a guard of honour for you.
But can you remember scoring the screamers though?
Oh, I did that every day. No chance.
Maybe
Maybe
Kieran just embellished that last bit because it sounds
Exactly.
better.
He just threw a bevy on it.
Yeah.
We've all done that.
What's he done?
I threw a bevy on it.
I want to finish on something that we were talking about last week. It's playing out from the back. What are your views on playing out from the back in respect of centre backs going onto the 6-yard line and then sort of that getting caught quite a lot?
It bores me to tears. I'm sick of seeing it. Not so
Are you
much.
sick of seeing them like messing up?
Yeah, messing up, yeah. Because they're just killing themselves. But Burnley did it all last year, didn't they? Now, you can talk about philosophies and principles and all that, but you're getting beat every week. You're giving goals away by doing it every week.
Team's not good enough to do it.
Team's not good enough to. City, obviously, when Pep first started doing it, wow, that's brilliant, and he'll still do it now. Of course he will. And I think Arteta's Arsenal got it, but the players have got to be good enough to actually do it. I think Ten Hag actually wants to do it a bit, doesn't he, with bringing that keeper in and De Ligt, but they're still not good enough at doing it. They ended up just booting it anyway.
What about the fact that it's not so long ago that people were saying about the English game, it's just boom, boom, boom. Forward. We haven't got no technical players. Now I know that when you watch it and you see people give it away, you say, why are they doing that? But isn't it just the way football is, and they're trying to progress, get people more technical? And you're going to make mistakes. They make mistakes at the top end and the bottom end. The game, it's just the game progressing, sure.
But the bottom end, the bottom end leads to a goal, Righty.
Yeah, but the top end leads to a goal sometimes as well when they get it wrong.
Yeah, but there's a long way to go. But
at least you have a chance.
We've seen all the stats when you give it away. Obviously, but if you give it away near your goal, obviously that's a better chance for the opposition to score. You don't mind players taking risk higher up the pitch. But when they start doing it in goalkeeping, for example, there was an international, was it Northern Ireland United goalkeeper, and these are big moments of certain teams who aren't clearly good enough to do it.
Yeah.
I love watching it.
I just think managers now, or if you're coming through the culture world now, you're looking up at Pep Guardiola, aren't you? Or you're looking up at Jurgen Klopp and these players, and I get what you're saying about the players, but I also think there's an element of coaches are almost terrified to be labelled as a long ball manager.
Yeah.
It's like, because you look at you just said Burnley, but then you look where Vincent Kompany went, and I do think there's a balance to be had between managers actually getting results is the most important thing, but say for instance, let's say Sean Dyche, let's use him as a perfect example. The England job is up for grabs. He's been a Premier League manager for over 10 years. Great experience, done a really good job at Burnley, doing a good job at Everton. No one would even think for 1 second he'd get the England job because of the way he plays. So I think a lot of young coaches coming into the game are thinking...
I have to play.
Yeah, I have to play, and you want to stay in a job, you want to get results, and it's just getting that balance. And
that's what it is.
That's what it is.
And I like that. I could agree more with you, but it's when I see, particularly goalkeepers now or defenders, you're going, you're nowhere near good enough to play out from the back.
Yeah.
People say long ball, long passes, or whatever, and still do it. And your team's losing every week, and people are losing their jobs. You're going, and I know every now and then there'll be a case where a company goes, listen, we were all amazed he got that Bayern Munich job. Listen,
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's because of how it's
How
the
he
potential,
plays.
how he
Of course.
plays.
I think a lot of them just do it for the sake of doing it, without anything coming at the end of it.
But we watch a lot of League Two matches. We go and watch Salford.
They try it.
They try it, and they go, but we're getting caught out a lot.
I don't understand when clubs say Liverpool the last few years under Klopp, and we know they're amazing, are pressing from the front and winning the ball up. And I'd go to a Liverpool game and I'd watch a team play out from the back from the first second. And surely the first 10 or 15 minutes, you're kicking it. Because you're going, OK, we're not going to get done early on. And then as we know, the game, as long as it opens up a little bit more, there's a little bit more time and space, you've had a few touches of the ball yourself, you've got into the game, then you might say, OK, just mix it up. And I think what you said about Burnley, I think we're going to be saying that about Southampton this season.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Going back to, you played in the 2008 game against Barcelona. And you scored, obviously. And then do you play in the 2009 final against Barcelona where you were sub? What did you...
At Wembley?
No, the one at Rome.
Yeah.
So the first 15 minutes of that game, which I think is the first time I've ever seen the centre-backs go back to that level. I've never seen it before in my life. Like, what the hell is that? What did you make? I've never spoke to you about it. What do you make of that first 10, 15 minutes?
The same as you. I just couldn't believe it was happening. I'd never seen the centre out. Was it Toure went and Piqué?
Piqué, yeah.
They were like 2 yards from the byline, outside the box.
Yeah.
It was incredible. But I thought that game, the first 10 minutes, we were all right.
No, I thought we were going to win.
Were you encouraged by it? You were delighted you were doing it? Yeah.
Oh, we had a couple of chances.
We had a couple of chances, the first
I know, but even when they first started,
what's this? What the hell is that?
No, but
wide open.
So you had a couple of chances. If you had a couple of chances.
We've never seen anything like that.
Not to that level in that game. I'd never seen it even in the videos we'd watched, never to 2 yards off the byline.
Even at that level,
he'd
they're trying
almost said,
you know what I
this
mean?
is my moment to almost crown myself in terms of sort of like, it was, wasn't it? It was
Who
like,
said that?
No, when you were watching the game and when you look back now, first 10, 15 minutes, you thought, this is madness, this is mayhem, they're going to get caught, and we actually nearly had 2 goals.
Yeah, that's Cristiano nearly scored, didn't he?
And then
Wazza as well. But you remember going into that game, we thought, the talk of it was that we're going to overpower him. Because he had a couple of players missing. I think Henry was struggling.
Iniesta was struggling.
Iniesta was struggling. Toure centre half. Piqué, you never thought was that physical.
Yeah.
And for 10 minutes, we've got a chance here. But after that, I don't think we kicked the ball.
So what was it? So when they're doing it that deep, James, are they trying to
He's trying to make the pitch as big as possible. That's what he does.
So then United
don't.
Because United don't know that's happening. So what did you do? Did you go and get them?
We knew they'd play out. We never knew they were going to take the level of risk of the goalkeeper from the 6 yard, but passing it backwards.
You won't think it's risk, though.
No. My point is though, even in the build-up to the game, we weren't expecting that level of sort of like depth.
You'll think he's making the pitch bigger, and that'll be his idea. So it'll be longer distances for you to press.
So ultimately, it worked for him, of course.
Oh, absolutely, it worked for him. And from that moment, I actually think that was that was when that great Barcelona team, which probably people see as the greatest team of all time, was born. That night, probably. Because the year before,
we go back to
they had the players.
They had the players to do it.
Yeah.
They had the players to do that and have the belief. So when you had a couple of chances, everyone said, "No, we're still going to pass them."
I think why would they do that? But it's obvious to open up the middle of the pitch, wasn't it? Because they had the 3 in there. Of
course.
Xavi, Iniesta,
that's what they always want. That extra man.
The amount of time the keeper
overload
just ships it into Messi at times. So there's 4 or 5 of them in there anyway.
Yeah.
But it just opens everything up, doesn't it?
It's hard to overpower too when you can't get near him, isn't it?
Well, exactly. Yeah. And we couldn't. We didn't.
Thank God.
I was going to say that's a good place to end the podcast. It was a good one for you.
We got United in. Right,
that's it.